Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is a care collab for Cattleya or Cattleya purpurata, depending on which way you like the older names or the reclassified names. Mine's going to be short basically because it's not in bloom. It is recovering from quite a bad experience with roots, so there's not really much to say about it, but what we need to get out of the way is the ridiculous amount of other channels that have joined in. So in the time-honoured tradition, these are the other channels. Right, there was enough of them to have a coffee with, and there's some nice ones in amongst those as well, with blooms and all that sort of stuff, which is why I'm not going to spend too long on it. This is, I won't say unusual, but this is a Cattleya that doesn't need the same amount of heat as some of the others do. It will put up with cooler temperatures. The one thing it does like is an even amount of light throughout the year, which is not very easy to do in the UK unless you actually use lights to extend your day length in the winter. It's liable in this country, without artificial lighting, it's liable to shut down in the winter and not do very well. And the other thing you have to bear in mind is, where did you get it from? I mean, basically this comes from Brazil. That's the bit below the line round the middle, yeah? So what it would be doing in the autumn is back to front if you live in the UK. If you see what I mean, what is spring is autumn. It comes from the other side of the world, the bottom bit. And as a consequence, depending on where it started life, it may not have transitioned its seasons, so it might not behave in the way you expect it to if it's relatively new for you. Most of the seasonal plants, which this has a specific time of year when it likes to bloom. It has a specific time of year when it likes to grow and produce the sheaths and then sit there and do nothing for a while. All that is seasonal, and as I said, depending on where you get it from, it might still have inbuilt its seasons from Brazil, in which case it will not behave naturally. It'll do the complete opposite to what you read in the ancient scrolls. So as far as mine's concerned, there's two plants in here, and this is one of the project orchids. There's the little plant here, which is just these three pseudo bulbs, two with leaves and one without, which does have quite a reasonable new growth coming. That will produce some roots eventually. It isn't doing it yet. And then the other larger section also has a new growth coming, not as far advanced as the other one, and I'm reasonably certain, I think I've finally got rid of the scale on this one. Having switched from spraying with my systemic insecticide on the scale themselves, using it as a contact killer rather than systemic, I was warned that I could be actually breeding a resistant strain of scale by doing that. So basically I've switched to just the 70% rubbing alcohol, which it needs to be used with care. It does dehydrate quite dramatically, and on very fine leaved orchids, which this isn't, it could actually cause cellular damage by actually dehydrating it at cellular level. So you need to go careful how you use it, and I would suggest you don't use it when it's cold. Use it when it's quite warm, and then you can guarantee it will evaporate quickly, which is its killing mechanism. Basically it soaks into the creatures and evaporates so dramatically that they just don't make it, basically. Anyway, that's my plant. It's not up to much. I don't expect blooms on this for some considerable time. This is the variety striata. My other one, the Atropurpurea, I lost. That never really recovered from the damaged root saga. It had structural damage near the base of the pseudo bulb. It just didn't recover. So that's my one. And a first today. I've got another care collab to do in a minute, so I'll be loading 2 today. This one was requested some particular time ago, and the other one requested by Mark. It turns out that most of the people that had that plant have no longer got it, and I think there's only me and him left. So I'll do that one later today. But yeah, 2 care collabs in one day. Bit unusual that. See you next time.